Oh, and how about this? An onside kick to start the game. And the Browns are able to cover this one up. They tried to give this home crowd something to cheer about early, but it failed. I don't know, maybe you try that on the road to get some momentum. What about here at home?
Would agree with you totally on that. I think at home, you don't ever want to put your fans in a position where they're questioning what you're doing. And right now, they have to be in the stand saying, why would we even do that? We're already behind you. You don't need us anymore. And this one, boy, an unsuccessful attempt, that could really change the momentum of this game in a hurry.
First play from scrimmage, Watson going to throw it. And right off the bat, look at him lay out there and make the grab. 13 yards on the game's opening play.
Well, how about that adrenaline? First play of the game, and we have a catch that we're going to talk about probably the rest of this game and straight into the highlights.
Right out of the gate, what an effort. Now the NFL's third leading rusher last year, it's Nick Chubb. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. He had his eyes on the end zone once he hit the secondary, but they're finally able to slow him down.
Yeah, and I've got to look at this one from the defensive point of view. You just mentioned finally able to slow him down. They've got to figure out a way to make that at the point of attack, at the line of scrimmage, because once he gets through, he's shredding them. Sometimes I think cornerbacks can benefit from the fact that quarterbacks might just forget about the idea that they might be near the line of scrimmage. How about the anticipation there, sneaking in and making a big play in the backfield?
Here's Watson. Dumps this to his running back, Chubb. Touchdown! Nick Chubb from 8 yards out. And the Browns are on the board first here this afternoon. Now Cade York for the extra point. It's up and through to make it 7-0 Browns. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. McCole Hardman to return it from his end zone. Oh, a good return up past the 30. McCole Hardman, one man to beat. And he will score. Touchdown, Jets. Well, go ahead and strap in, partner. Less than 2 minutes in, had the score on the one side. A quick answer, though, to get the equalizer.
Sometimes you get that sense of urgency that ratchets up, right? When you give up an early touchdown like that, you just know you're like, okay, how do we go back and equalize things? Can we get it done fast? And they absolutely did. Essentially, we're back to even, aren't we?
Zerline good with a PAT, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
That'll give them 8 that time, and it'll be second in a couple. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson on the move to his left. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first. Back to throw. He'll get this to Chubb out of the backfield. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that's going to bring up second down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
So in jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now Watson. To the left side and complete for Amari Cooper. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. A gain of 8 there on the play. And they'll be left with 2nd and a couple. Clock runs, less than a minute to go, and an entertaining first quarter of play. Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. They'll roll him out right. And his throw is incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
And he is going to have a Browns first down, and he's going to have it by plenty, able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 2. To throw is Watson. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Watson now to throw. Going out wide, finds Chubb. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 7-7, our score after 1. The start of the second quarter, and it's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Set.
From the red zone now, Watson. There's another catch by the running back, Nick Chubb. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
That kind of hit will certainly fire up your team, both on the field and on the sideline. Tackles for lost yardage, they're always welcome.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Browns have taken the lead. Extra point by York is up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. Right after the touchdown to extend their lead, now maybe opening the door a little bit there by allowing starting field position at the 40. So now the possession will begin at the 35 after the errant kickoff.
Well, that's certainly one way to avoid a dangerous kick returner, I suppose, but you are giving up extra yardage, that's for sure, because if you put it out of the end zone, they start at the 25. So at a minimum, you're giving up 10 yards to the offense.
And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42. From the 42-yard line, here's the 2nd down and 9. Here's Rodgers to throw. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Greg Newsom. And the Browns are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, his arm strength never an issue, but this one winds up in the wrong hands.
Oh, the coverage here is just terrific because when it's done really well, sometimes you can't distinguish whether it's the receiver or the defensive back the ball's intended for. He actually ran with him in perfect motion and able to make a big-time play. That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
A shotgun snap for Watson. And that is taken in by Njoku. Finding room at midfield. Look at the big fella go. And down to the 27-yard line. A big play that time for Cleveland. 53 yards. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And this is incomplete. Oh, that looked like a sure 6 points, but he could not get that to stick, and that is a golden opportunity wasted there.
If I'm making excuses, and I am, sometimes the sun can be difficult on a ball like that. That looked like it was going to be right there, but it's in and out of his hands. And a potential big play goes by the wayside.
To the air yet again, Watson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Following that sack, Watson and the Browns backed up for 3rd and long. Now back to throw. Throw left side, caught by the tight end, Njoku. Now let's see, and the offense still out there. They elect to go on 4th and 11. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Watson will step away, and out comes Cade York to handle this 4th down field goal try for the Browns. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. York able to send this one through, and they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their second drive. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal is not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
Throwing now is Rodgers. Open man here is Conklin. 27 yards there, a first down.
I like the boldness of that play call from the offensive coordinator because he wasn't daunted even by the double coverage he expected to draw to the tight end. The result, a huge gain and a major shot of confidence for everyone on the offense.
Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And again, it's Rodgers. His throw incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
Back to the air on second down. It's Rodgers. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Grant Delpit. And the Browns are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
Set.
After the interception, here's Watson. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. He's to the 10. And he brings this one back. It's a pick-6 and a jet touchdown. You think you're going into halftime with a good-sized lead. Not so fast. That pick-6 really changes the complexion. Probably also changes the halftime speech.
No doubt about it. Instead of going in relaxed, you're probably a little more uptight right now. Probably a little bit angry. Let's see if they can get their focus back.
The Zerline now for the PAT. Oh, he missed it. No good. So this remains a 4-point game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6. And now the kick is away. On the return from his end zone is Grant. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, but he opted for the touchback. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. Fresh off the pick-6, it's Watson. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Off of play action, it's Watson. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
And they're not going to go quietly into this halftime break. They know they're in for a fight, so they're trying to make every possession count. They took the big shot there, but it winds up incomplete.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Watson going to stay out there as they'll go for it on 4th. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. On 4th down, on is Corey Bajorquez to punt. Here's Hardman to return. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And with Rodgers behind center, you wonder if they'll take one shot at this. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Get 300. Get Jim.
A final shot before half for Rodgers. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So we come upon halftime, and it's the visiting Browns with a lead. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, BG, thanks very much. And welcome one and all to our beautiful new downtown Orlando studios for this EA Sports Halftime Report. We were certainly treated to an entertaining first half. Both these teams with some high points and maybe a couple of low points as well. So it's going to be a question of who can be the most disciplined team going forward.
Okay, Coach, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. The Jets going to get the football first, and they trail as well as we get back underway in this second half. Hardman going to bring it out of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Now the Jets going to take over on offense to begin this third quarter. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And hopefully he's getting the ball to start the second half. Having all the offense that you already referenced in the first half. He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
Rodgers now on first down. Wide open receiver complete. The way in. Touchdown, New York. Tyler Conklin, 51 yards. And the Jets have taken the lead here this third quarter. And you know, you and I praise tight ends in today's game. Bigger-bodied wide receiver. Boy, a play that long from that position, you just didn't used to see that as much.
No, you were really just counting on the tight end. To run after the catch, it makes him so dangerous. Hard to bring those big guys down when they get rolling.
Couldn't bring him down here. Got into the end zone. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. And they'll be working from behind now following the touchdown a moment ago on the opening drive to half.
I think the guys right now, but as they go out on offense, they're zeroing in on one big key. They don't have to do anything differently just because they're down on the scoreboard now. The intent, still the same in what they plan to do on offense.
On 1st and 10, Watson. And he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. And wriggled down quickly just past the 40 at the 41. this time it's incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
Watson on third down. Oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception. Adrian Amos with a pick. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
Well, he is out of bounds inside the 35. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
Partner, the good ones have a clock running in their head, okay? Because it says something like this. I've got this many seconds to find a target. After that, I have to tuck it and try and get some yardage on this first down snap. He doesn't just get some yards, though. He gets a big gain, and they'll come right back with another 1st and 10.
And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. On play action, now Rodgers. And Rodgers intercepted a third time. Picked up by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And the Browns are going to get the football here at their own 23. So this offense moving the ball well, trying to open up a 2-score lead here in the third quarter. But now potentially a play that could have big ramifications.
Yeah, you've driven the ball down the field. Things are looking up, but it takes just one bad decision to throw things off the rails.
A pass there over the middle to start things out. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite.
And now Watson throws another interception. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. The one side gets an interception, but their defense comes on the field and picks them right back up by getting a pick of their own.
And I think you saw the same thing that I did, Brandon. As he ran off the field after making that play, we saw his quarterback seek him out and offer a personal thank you to bail him out a little bit as the offense takes the field again.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Hall again on 2nd down. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Breece Hall taking him in from 7 yards away. And the Jets are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. That's caught, and he finds his way into the end zone as the lead moves to 10. So they try to make it a 2-score game with a conversion. It pays off.
And they've looked at the situation, figured it out well. A 2-score game in this situation, they've got to feel much better about where they are.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're...
They've got his man complete. Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A gain of 37. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Watson off play action. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Adrian Amos with a pick. And the Jets are going to have it here just past the 25. Boy, Charles, that is now 3 interceptions in 3 consecutive drives, and you can see he's just got a look of disgust and bad body language, understandably, as he walks off the field.
And I think it comes from the fact that he's not sure what he sees down the field, Brandon. I don't know if he's seeing ghosts. I don't know if he just can't read defenses. I'm not sure what it is, but that's why he's frustrated. Think about the defense right now. Every time they run on the field, they've gone from hoping to intercept a pass to expecting to intercept passes. Their confidence at an all-time high right now.
On play action, it's Rodgers. Gonna look deep for Wilson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Grant Delpit. And the Browns force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, 3rd quarter. But that, not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now, if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. Now Watson, he's going to move him around. Watson now throwing on 1st down. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And he's out of bounds, but not before a big pickup that time on what's going to wind up being the final play of the 3rd quarter. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. It's the Browns with a deficit. They're trailing, but with the football here to start the 4th. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Watson looks to throw again. And his throw here's incomplete. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football.
And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long after that sack. What does Watson have in his arsenal? Looking to throw. And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception. Picked up by Ashton Davis. And the Jets are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. I'm starting to wonder, Charles, if 5 interceptions, is that the last that we've seen of him?
Well, I think that a lot of people hope that's the last they've seen of him in this game, probably including himself. If this were baseball, the manager would have been in the mound already and asked for the ball, and he'd be in there getting a shower. But in football, you might have to go stand on the sideline and watch the rest of it and see if your backup can do any better.
On 1st down, right back to Hall. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. Big impact play, a tackle for loss. So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. On 2nd down, a run with Hall. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up.
Now that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations, when you have to get the ball back, everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking it the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands.
Touchdown, Jets. Garrett Wilson, 70 yards. And the Jets use the big play to extend their 4th quarter lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase it.
And he's got it. So the 2-point conversion is good, and they add on to their 4th quarter lead. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape, up past the 30. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
25 yards there on the catch and run. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores, want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Watson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
This has obviously been a bad loss, but one of the few things they can still do is try and throw the ball all the way to the end zone and get some points on the board so they're not shut out over the final 2 quarters of this game.
Well, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
That incompletion brings us one step closer to the end of this one, maybe mercifully, partner. And let's face it, though, no surprise, they're still flinging it around. They have pride, too.
31. 26.
Again, it's Watson. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Ashton Davis. And the Jets are going to have it here at their own 15. Well, all I can do up here is just shake my head. I mean, 6 interceptions. I cannot imagine what he's thinking between the ears right now.
Well, just think of how it is for his teammates, because after the first few, you know they're going over to him, hey, we'll get them next time. Now they're probably...
He's got him in, complete. Now he's free to midfield. How about this? Racing to the end zone.